I'm going to be showing you how to get all the collectibles in the Wayne Island Hub World area in LEGO DC Supervillains. Let's get started. Okay, so this first collectible that we're going to grab here is going to be a gold brick, and this one's called Hook, Line, and Brick. And this one's located kind of on the south side of Wayne Island where this beach is. And once you land on the beach, you're going to notice several digging spots. So we're going to switch over to a digging character like Cheetah and just start digging some of those up. And most of them are just going to give you studs, but every now and then you're going to find one that actually has some buildable LEGO objects. So here is the first one. Not entirely sure if it's random every time, so the dig spot might be a little bit different, but just start digging them up until you get a buildable LEGO object. That's going to build up these fishing poles in the background. Then you can just step on that red platform, it'll glow green, and then it'll pull up a fish out of the water there, but we just have to do that a couple more times here. So we're going to go around, start digging up some more spots, and over here is going to be the next dig spot that has a buildable object. So we're going to build that up. I think it attaches like hot dogs to the fishing poles, I believe, to use as bait, I guess. But now we're stepping on this platform. It's going to raise up a boot. That's also not what we want. So now we're going to go over here. I believe this is the last dig spot that I haven't checked yet, and this is going to be our last buildable LEGO object. So we're going to build that up on this final fishing pole here. And wait a few seconds, then stand on the red platform. It's going to pull it up, and there is a shark. And inside the shark's mouth is going to be our gold brick. There it is. It's going to pop up right there on the beach, so we can just walk over and grab the gold brick for hook, line, and brick. Next, we're going to grab another gold brick, and this one's called the E.Nigma of Bruce Wayne. And this one's actually located inside Wayne Manor. So yes, you can go inside Wayne Manor in this game, which is pretty cool. So to get there, what we have to do is fly all the way down here and fly up here against this wall. It's going to open up this door into the Batcave, and there will be this cutscene that plays when you first walk into the Batcave, so just ignore that. That's for a side quest that we're going to do a little bit later on in this video. But we're going to fly all the way here to the back and push this button on the elevator. It's going to open up the door, and then you'll be teleported into Wayne Manor. There's going to be another cutscene here. So basically there's a bunch of Riddler goons kind of ransacking Wayne Manor. So there's going to be several different items that we need to do here. So first off, in the fireplace, we're going to put out the fire using Superman's freeze breath. And then we're going to step on these 3 pressure pads on the ground. There should be one of the Riddler goons that helps you push down the third one. And then there's going to be one of these sliding puzzles here in the back. So just keep moving these little pieces around. If it gives you studs, that means you're moving it in the right direction. And so once we form the bat logo there, it's going to cause this little stairway to come up out of the bookshelves. That'll allow you access to the next floor. There's also going to be some buildable LEGO objects on the ground that we can build up into little poles that we're going to have to hang on to open up this big curtain on the left side of the room. So it's probably easiest just to play as a flying character and fly up and grab onto these poles to put some weight on them. So there we go. We got Superman into position on the left side. Then over here on the right side, we're going to use Deathstroke to jump onto this pole. And once you have both characters on there at the same time, it'll reveal this big bat logo portrait kind of on the stained glass window there. And that'll be the next thing we have to do. Then moving on from there, over here in the back on the second floor, there's going to be a graffiti area here. So we're going to switch over to a graffiti character like the Joker. Spray paint that. It's going to blow up. And behind it is going to be this little portrait of Bruce Wayne wearing his Batman mask. And kind of towards the camera there's going to be a grapple hook point. So we're going to pull on that using a grapple hook character like Deathstroke or Batman. That's going to reveal the bat logo hanging from the ceiling. So Batman's just completely giving himself away in this little side quest here. Then over here on the right side, there's going to be 3 grapple hook points. What we need to do is play as a character like the Joker to recruit a couple henchmen that are nearby. Then once you have a couple henchmen, you can now grapple onto all 3 of those at the same time. It's going to open up this secret bookshelf, and behind it, there's going to be a little button that you can hit. And that's going to reveal this little hologram of Wayne Tower, I believe. And then once you do all of those things that we just did, this Riddler goon's going to go on this big monologue. And once he gets done, though, he will leave you the gold brick for the E.Nigma of Bruce Wayne. Next up is going to be another gold brick, and this one's called There's a Bat in My House. Now, based off that name, you might think this one's also going to be inside Wayne Manor, but it's actually not. This one's going to be on the rooftop of Wayne Manor. So there's going to be a sign there indicating 3 different things that we have to do. The first one, we're going to hop down here, destroy some LEGO objects. That'll give you a buildable boombox of some sort, and that'll be 1 out of 3. That's probably the easiest of the 3 things here. And by the way, you can do any of these 3 things in any order that you want, but this is just the order that I'm doing it in. So over here on this side of the rooftop, there's going to be an electrical panel. So we're just going to charge that up using a character like Livewire or Grid, anybody with electrical abilities. And you're going to want to pay attention to where the electrical current is traveling there on the ground, where it's glowing white. So we're going to move over here to this yellow switch, rotate that once. That'll move it over here to this blue switch. We're going to hit that. That'll cause the electrical current to travel down the side of the wall. There's going to be one more green switch that we can hit. Just hit that once, and that'll complete this part of the puzzle. That'll charge up these electrical force fields of some sort. I think they're meant to zap bats or something. I'm not entirely sure. But that's going to be 2 out of 3. So now on the opposite side of Wayne Manor here is going to be the final thing that we have to do. So we're just going to hop down here, and you're going to notice a graffiti area here. So we're going to switch over to a character that can use graffiti like the Joker. Spray paint that. It's going to cause this wall to blow up, and inside there's going to be a buildable Lego object. It's going to build up this mouse trap, and that's going to be the final of the 3 things that we have to do. And so once you've satisfied all 3 of those, it'll then cause the gold brick to spawn. And by the way, right there, it was like zooming in on nothing. I think there was supposed to be a NPC character talking to me, but it just wasn't appearing there for whatever reason. But that is the gold brick for There's a Bat in My House. Okay, so next up is going to be Maze Mayhem. This is another gold brick located right here in the middle of the Wayne Island map. And this one, we're going to have to travel down into the Batcave. So we're going to fly down, open up this door, and inside, now we're in the Batcave, and there's going to be this little cutscene that plays, kind of showing us what we're going to have to do here. But basically, there's going to be 3 electrical mazes that we have to complete. So over here, this is the first one. There's going to be an electrical panel on the wall, so we're just going to charge that up using a character like Livewire, and that's going to cause this electrical current to travel through this maze. So basically what you have to do is just step on the switch so that the electrical current can travel through. So you kind of have to step on and off the switch to cause those little red pieces to move back and forth, and just get it so that it goes to that green little bat logo on the left side of the maze, and that'll be the first of the 3 mazes that we need to complete. So now we're going to move over here to the second one that's kind of in the back of the Batcave here next to the big T-Rex statue. So once again, we're going to charge this up. The electrical current's going to travel through. This one's a little bit more complex because there are 2 switches, one for the blue Lego pieces and then another for the red Lego pieces. So let's pay attention to the current. If you mess up, it'll just start at the beginning again. You can just retry. So now we're stepping on the red one so that the red piece is up top, and it'll travel through there, and then step on the blue one. It'll travel through that turn, and then finally we step on the red one again, and that'll complete this maze. And that'll be the second of the 3 mazes located here in the Batcave. That'll power up the T-Rex. A bunch of studs are going to pop out of its mouth. And then the third maze will now be revealed. And this is, I guess, the most complicated one because this one has 3 switches. So there's a blue, red, and a yellow. So once again, we're going to charge up this electrical panel. It's going to cause the electrical current to travel through. We're standing on the yellow switch to start out. It's going to go through 2 of those little zones. Now we're standing on the red switch. It's going to cause it to go left. Then we're going to stand on the yellow one again. That's really all you have to do. You never have to even stand on the blue one. And once we do that, that'll solve this last maze. A little cutscene is going to play now, showing us that this door is opening up, which has the gold brick inside. So now that that's opened up, we can just walk on over there and grab the gold brick for Maze Mayhem. This next gold brick is going to be called Breaking the Lawn. And this one's going to be located on the front lawn of Wayne Manor. And this one just kind of requires a bunch of different abilities here. So once we get here, there's going to be a destructible Lego object just to the left of this lawnmower. That's going to give you a seat for the lawnmower. And over here on the right side, there's going to be this little chainsaw that we can use to cut up this bush on the right side. And so basically we're going to cut it up to form the shape of a Riddler question mark. I guess the Riddler is behind this side quest, I suppose. And so once we do that, it's going to give us a telekinetic Lego object that we can build up, which is going to open up this electrical panel here in the back. And so now we're going to charge that up using a character like Livewire. And once you do that, now you'll finally be able to ride a lawnmower. And all you have to do here is just ride over all of the kind of yellow looking grass that's sticking up out of the ground. And so just make sure you hit all of those different spots. And once you do, a little cutscene is going to play. And then inside the lawnmower is the gold brick for breaking the lawn. The next gold brick that we're going to tackle is called Ain't No Fountain High Enough. And this one's going to be located kind of on the left side of Wayne Manor where this fountain is. And so nearby the fountain, there's going to be this computer panel. So we're going to switch to a character that can use those, like Malcolm Merlin. And so now we're going to start hacking this. It's going to be another one of those little sliding puzzles. So just keep moving the pieces. And every time you get studs, that's when you know you're moving them in the right direction. And so I'm just moving these back and forth a little bit until we get them all lined up so that all the pipes are aligned perfectly, just like that. And so once we do that, just wait a few seconds. It's going to power up the fountain. And then we're not done just yet, though, because the fountain actually needs to be frozen. So we're going to switch to a character that can freeze it up, like Captain Cold. You could also use Superman's freeze breath. So any character that you want to use. And so we're just going to start freezing up this fountain. And once you do so, just wait a few seconds. This NPC character is going to start talking to you. And then inside the fountain, once the ice breaks, is going to be the gold brick for Ain't No Fountain High Enough. So now we're going to take a little break from grabbing gold bricks and move on to a proper side quest. This one's called Pensioner Pranks. It is actually going to be located back in the Batcave. So we're going to fly down here, head over here to the entrance of the Batcave where this wall is. The door will open up. Over here on the left side where this elevator is going to be Superboy waiting for us. So we're going to start talking to him. And this side quest is a little bit annoying because we have to use the character creator, but fortunately we don't have to fly all the way to Stryker's Island to access the character creator, because if you just pause the game, move on to go to customizer, you'll instantly teleport to where the character creator is here on Stryker's Island. So you can use any of your character slots. So I'm just going to use custom 7 here. And there's just 2 items that we need to equip onto our character in order to complete this side quest. So if you navigate over here to the helmet pieces, we have to equip the Swamp Monster helmet. So we're just going to put that on our character. You don't have to color it or anything like that. You can if you want to, but I'm just going to leave it the default white. And next up, we need to change over our torso piece. So it's going to be one of these preset bodies. And there's going to be a Swamp Monster body here. So I'm just kind of navigating through here, trying to find it. Scanning through all these different items, and there it is. So now we're going to exit the character creator. And so once we've done that, we can now just head all the way back over to Wayne Island and into the Batcave. So easiest way to do that, switch over to a flying character like Superman, and we're just going to book it all the way back over there to Wayne Island, open up the Batcave door, fly back over here to where Superboy is waiting for us. But before you talk to him, make sure you're playing as your custom character that has the Swamp Monster helmet piece as well as the Swamp Monster torso piece. And once you do that, there's going to be a rather lengthy cutscene here of Alfred coming down to talk to Superboy, and they're just going to keep talking for a while, but once he gets done talking, you will unlock Superboy as a playable character. So now we're going to do the second side quest here on Wayne Island, and this one's called Extraction. This is probably the most time-consuming one in this area. So over here, kind of in the front lawn of Wayne Manor, there's going to be this little maze, and next to the maze is going to be Calendar Man that we can talk to. So we're going to talk to him to initiate this side quest. There's going to be this like Easter egg hunt going on, and this one is also going to require us to use the character customizer. So we're going to pause the game to teleport to the character creator here on Stryker's Island, and we're just going to modify the same character slot that we just did. And so again, it doesn't really matter what your character looks like, just make sure they have these 2 pieces on them. So for the helmet, you need the bunny suit helmet piece, just like that. And then for your torso, you're going to need the bunny suit torso piece. So I'm kind of just scanning through all the different items here. There's a lot of different options here in LEGO DC Supervillains. And there it is, the bunny suit torso. And so we're just going to select that. And then we're going to exit the customizer, make sure you save it. And so now we're going to have to fly all the way back over to where Wayne Island is, where Calendar Man is waiting for us. So we're going to fly back over here, and before you talk to him, make sure you're actually playing as the bunny suit, because right here, I wasn't playing as him. And so I just initiated the side quest again, and as soon as I switched over to my custom character with the bunny suit, he started talking, and this little cutscene started playing. And so once you do all of that, now you're ready to do the next part where you have to go Easter egg hunting here. So you don't actually have to keep playing as the bunny character. At first I thought you had to, but you're going to see later on I'm going to switch over to Superman just to make things a little bit faster, because my custom character here was not the fastest character in the world. And so the game will tell you exactly where these Easter eggs are if you just follow the trail of ghost studs. I think the game also points them out using the little purple marker there in the open world. It shows you exactly where each of the eggs is. So I believe there are, let's see, there's 3 and 3 and then 2 and 2. So yeah, there's 10 eggs in total that we need to find. So there's 2 blue ones, 2 green ones, and then 2 kind of pink or purple ones, and then 3 orange or kind of brown looking ones. Doesn't really matter the order that you get them in, because the game's going to actually show you the exact order that you have to do, because it points them out in a specific way. And so you're going to kind of navigate all the way around Wayne Manor here. And now I'm playing as Superman just to make things a little bit faster, just because you can fly around to each one. So now we just have one more egg to grab, and once we've grabbed all 10 of the eggs, we'll then be able to go back over to Calendar Man and start talking to him. So now we're just going to wave our hand in front of him. Excellent, as he says there in the text box. And so he's just going to talk for a bit, but once he gets done talking, you will unlock Calendar Man as a playable character here for the Egg Extraction side quest. Next up, we're going to knock out another side quest, and this one's called Best in Show Business. And this one involves Krypto, the super dog. So we're going to head over here to the front of Wayne Manor, and there Krypto is waiting for us, so we're going to wave in front of him. And fitting that we're playing as Superman as we're doing this side quest. But this one's pretty straightforward. You just have to follow Krypto around Wayne Manor here, and every now and then he's going to stop, and that's going to be where he wants you to take a selfie with him. So we're going to pull out the camera using the LB button on Xbox, probably L1 on PlayStation, I'm guessing. And you just have to take a picture with Krypto. There's going to be two kind of green boxes that you need to make sure are green before you take the screenshot, or else it won't count. That's the first one. He's going to move down here. There's going to be 3 pictures total that we need to take. So we're going to pull out the camera, and you can see there's a green box around Krypto, and there's also a green box around the object that he wants to take a picture with. So just make sure both of those are green, and it'll count, and you'll be good to go. This is the final one, so once he's in position, just make sure both of those boxes are green. And if you do it successfully, he's going to start talking to you. Then you'll unlock Krypto as a playable character. Next, we're going to do our first race here on Wayne Manor, and this one's called Wayne Family Fun Run. And this race starts out near where Krypto was spawned in, and so for this you have to use a speedy character, so you can use a character like Reverse Flash or just regular Flash like I'm using here. And so there's going to be 15 of these little purple checkpoints that you need to run through. You just have to make sure you run through all 15 within 35 seconds. And for the most part, these races are pretty easy. Like, the time limits are really generous. So just make sure you're running through all these different checkpoint markers. And once you do, you will unlock the Bat Rocket as a playable vehicle. Now we're switching back over to Gold Bricks, and this one's going to be called Totally Legitimate Merchandise. And this one's located right at the front entrance of Wayne Manor, so pretty hard to miss. And you can see there on the right, there's going to be this poison ivy concoction that we need to make, or poison ivy poison, whatever you want to call it. So to do that, we have to find 3 different flowers around this area to drop into the bucket. So this first one involves us using a detective character here, so I'm using Cheetah to follow this trail, and it's going to lead us to this set of flowers, and once you destroy them, it'll give you a flower that Poison Ivy can pick up. So we're going to switch over to Poison Ivy, and that'll kind of follow her around, and then you can insert that into the bucket, and that'll be 1 out of 3. And just to the right of the bucket, there's going to be some more flowers that we can destroy, and that'll be 2 out of 3, so they give you kind of a freebie there. Over here on the left side, there's going to be a weak Lego object wall, so we need to switch to a strong character like Superman or any sort of big fig character like Clayface, and behind the wall is going to be the last flower, so we're going to switch over to Poison Ivy once again to pick that up, carry it back over here to the bucket. That'll be all 3 ingredients that we need, and so once you do that, you'll just wait a few seconds for the cutscene to play, and you'll be able to grab the gold brick for Totally Legitimate Merchandise. So now for another side quest. This one's called In Brightest Day in Broken Kite, and again, this is going to be located kind of close to the entrance of Wayne Island as you're leaving Gotham, and here this character is going to be stuck up in this tree, and this is Kite-Man. So we're going to start talking to him. That'll initiate the side quest. So the first thing you have to do once you start this side quest is to get him down from that tree. So you might notice there's a grapple hook point just beneath him, so we're going to pull on that using a character like Batman. That'll rescue him from the tree, but now he's going to want his kite repaired. So there's going to be 10 different objects that we need to find that are kind of scattered across both Wayne Island as well as kind of the outskirts of Gotham. So the first one's going to be pretty close by, but for most of them I recommend using a flying character because you're going to be traveling quite a bit to grab these 10 different pieces. But luckily the game not only shows you them on the map, but it also is just going to point you directly to them using those little purple indicators. So that's probably the easiest way to go. Just keep following where the game points you to go, and you're going to be able to grab these 10 pieces without too many issues. I believe there are 4 of them located on Gotham here, kind of on the edge of Gotham, but the rest of them are going to be located on the Wayne Manor Island here. And so we're going to move down here, grab this one next to those plants, Over here behind Wayne Manor is going to be another one. There's going to be another one next to this tree trunk near the front lawn, and then there's going to be one final piece down on the beach. For some reason, there's just a random piece of wood there on the beach, and once we've grabbed all 10 of the ingredients to make a kite, we're going to move our way back over to Kite-Man, and we're going to talk to him, and that'll pretty much finish off the side quest. You're going to talk to him for a bit, and once he gets done, you will unlock Kite-Man as a playable character. So now we're going to grab the final gold brick of Wayne Island. This one's called Not So Lighthouse. And as the name suggests, this one's going to be located on the little lighthouse island that's in front of Wayne Manor. And as you approach, there's going to be a cutscene that automatically plays of this NPC character talking. He wants the lighthouse put out. And so to do that, there's going to be several different things we have to do here. So first off, land here and spin this yellow wheel. It's going to raise up this little target pad. And so what we have to do is switch over to an aiming character like Deadshot or Batman. So we're going to fly in here, use Batman's night vision, stand on that little pad, throw the Batarang at that target. It's going to hit all these different areas around the island, and eventually it'll hit this little electrical panel. That'll be one of two that we need to hit. So for the second one, you might notice this little area here, but you don't want to use it just yet because there's another target that we need to raise up. So there's going to be another yellow wheel. Rotate that around. It'll raise up this little target pad there. And so now we're going to make our way back over here to where we can start aiming. We're going to aim at this one over here on the right side. Hit that, it'll bounce off a few different things, and then it'll hit the other side of that electrical panel. And once you hit both of those, that'll cause the power to go out to the lighthouse, and that will cause this guy to start freaking out a little bit. And then this boat's going to come in, it's going to crash up against the island, and inside the boat is going to be where the gold brick is located. So now we're just going to make our way down there. I definitely recommend using a flying character like Superman just to make it down there a little bit easier, and we can grab the gold brick for Not So Lighthouse. And now lastly, we have a race here. This one's called Gliding Around the Beach. And this one's going to be located on top of Wayne Manor. And so once we get here, it will require you to switch over to a gliding character to start the race. So we're going to switch over to Batman. And so once we do that, we'll then be allowed to start the race. But a little secret is that once you start the race, you actually can switch over to any character that you want. So if I wanted to, I could kind of cheat this race and switch over to a character like Superman and just fly through all of these rings. But for the purposes of this guide, I will always be using a gliding character like Batman just to do these races the legit way. So you kind of have to go up and down to gain momentum in order to reach the higher up checkpoint marker rings. And there are 20 of them in total, and as long as you get through all of them within a minute 20, which should be super easy, you will finish the race and unlock the Batwing as a playable vehicle. So guys, that's going to be all the collectibles here on Wayne Island in LEGO DC Supervillains. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. Like this video if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Break Games.